Welcome back to another podcast, ladies and gents. Today we're joined by Randy Daal, Chief Experience Officer at Kadena. Kadena in the blockchain space, and they are capable of powering global finance, which we're going to uncover. And they're set to be, as of early next year, the first horizontal scalable EVM blockchain, which we're going to get into one of their core products, Chainweb, and we're going to uncover what 20 different chains actually looks like and some of the challenges around that, but also what makes their product so unique and innovative. And SpireKey, we're going to be focusing on SpireKey and keeping your keys in one place with some really good security and some really good UX. So we're going to be talking about some really interesting subjects. Randy, do you want to kick us off and give us a bit of an intro into you and your background?
Yes, well, thank you very much. Thank you for the intro. Like you said, my name is Randy. I'm based in the Netherlands. I'm passionate about driving innovation and creating user-centric blockchain solutions, user-centric technology as a whole, that are not only efficient, but also accessible, right? I believe blockchain technology should be for everybody, not only for a certain amount of people. And at Kadena, I've been privileged to contribute to groundbreaking projects like SpireKey, for instance, and many more. We'll talk about many more as well. Just to enhance the user experience and streamline blockchain adoption. So that's a little bit about me and what I'm doing at Kadena. It's an exciting journey to shape the future of blockchain technology. I'm actually thrilled to be part of a team that shares this vision as well. So you asked me the question, what makes Kadena so unique? Because we aren't like any other blockchain. At the heart of this innovation, there are like several groundbreaking features that actually solve, I believe, the most pressing challenges in blockchain technology, setting us apart from others. To start with our scalable architecture. So Chainweb architecture addresses some challenges about scalability, security, by actually evolving on Bitcoin's proven structure. We actually built a multi-chain architecture where we have 20 parallel chains working together, leveraging Peterson graph theory to optimize the performance of our chain. Like I said, we were inspired by Bitcoin, where Bitcoin uses like a single chain, where each block references the predecessor through secure proof of work. And this is a proven, decentralized, and highly secured approach. And we don't believe in compromising decentralization at Kadena. So we want to stay decentralized. That's why we also stay proof of work. And what we did is we actually braided all those chains together. And in this way, we currently are only 20 chains. And like you said, at the moment, we're working on adding some EVM nodes as well to our chains. So, and that's something we're going to focus on next year, which is extremely exciting.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Can we get into the problems that Kadena are solving for their adopters, if you like?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the simplest way to put it.
Yeah. So when you look at like single chain architecture, we see this a lot in especially in the past in Ethereum, that gas prices are pretty high. I think 2 years ago I went to ETC and I wanted to claim my name on a platform, and my name was $10, and I had to pay $50 of gas fees, which is insane, right? And this is because the chain on that particular moment was pretty congested. And if you want to get your transaction in, you have to pay a certain amount of fees for that to actually come in first. Because miners, they actually, if you pay more, miners will probably take your fee of your transaction earlier than any others, of course, because they just want to get paid. And so if you keep on, you can see the same as like a traffic jam. If you have all these cars behind each other, and you want to get in first, and you have to pay a certain amount of fees. But what we did is actually not only have one highway, but we created 20 highways. So if one chain will get congested, just hop over to the other chain, which isn't, or hop over to the other one. And if we see our chains get congested, we can scale up to 100, 1,000, theoretically 1 million or whatsoever. So we can actually settle a whole shitload of transactions, so to say, if we want. And this is what I think makes Kadena so unique and different than any other one.
Really unique. Now I understand even further the horizontal scaling aspect. Talk to me about some of the engineering challenges that you see, really at a deeper level, building out 20 plus chains. Like, what are you likely to run into as an engineer? Because for some of our listeners, blockchain technology and adopting it might be a relatively new concept for them.
Yeah. I think the main challenges of keeping or building out a blockchain with 20 or more chains is, there are a whole lot of problems. I mean, if you look at the technology beneath, it's extremely complex. And our core team is doing an amazing job on this to make it simpler and easier for other developers to build on this, right? I think the main complex things is to actually, there are a lot of things, right? If you create your account, for instance, on one chain, how do you keep it like this so that the same account cannot be claimed on all the other 20 chains? There are so many different things you need to think of, also from a UX perspective, right? If you build an application on 20 different chains, you can see it as building on a multi-threaded environment. So there are a lot of challenges that a developer will encounter. And for us as a team, it's to make all this stuff easy for developers. So we need to give the developers the tooling actually to abstract all this technology away. And that's what my team is also focusing on.
Would love to explore a bit more on the tooling aspect. I see that as one of the big barriers to entry at the moment, that I know there's a lot of innovation that's taking place in developer tooling, in blockchain technologies. It's evolving.
Yeah.
Talk to us about maybe the work that some of your team's doing to help enable some adoption.
Yes. So we've been working for, I think, around 2 years. I started at Kadena 3 years ago. And the first thing I saw when I joined is we created this beautiful house, right? But we forgot to build the doors because it was very difficult to build something on our chain. And so the last 2 years, we built up a team to build all this tooling on top of our chain to make it easy for them. So, for instance, we have a smart contract language called Pact, which is human readable, but this is a Lisp-based language, so it was difficult for people to grasp it. It was like the learning curve was pretty steep, so to say. Well, once you get it, you really get it, and you see all the great features it has. But it was pretty steep. So what we did is we built, we started a monorepo called Kadena Jazz, where we actually built some tools tools that, for instance, transpiled these smart contracts over to TypeScript. So people can just use TypeScript to talk to our blockchain. In the end, the TypeScript will, of course, talk to smart contracts to create these transactions. But these are some of the cool innovations we were working on. Also, we're building SDKs for wallets. We created user UX patterns, how we think people should interact on our blockchain. We built a load of things. I saw this year alone, we just had the Kadena wrapped version internally. My team alone has written 7 million lines of code, which was an insane amount of code looking at the team size. So there was a lot of hard work done this year. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Not saying that lines of code stand for quality, etc., but it was just great to see.
No, that's really impressive. I think that's really been the thing that I've been hearing from the blockchain space, especially 2024. It's about innovation into accessibility,
Yeah.
And creating those tools like we've just focused on. So to see that in your wrapped session, and what you've done this year is incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. We did actually talk on SDKs and we were talking about some security aspects, but it feels like quite a nice way to actually segue into SpireKey at this moment, because I know that's a bit of a passion project for Kadena. It's being adopted by some great businesses in the space. Talk to us about SpireKey and what you've actually done with SpireKey.
Yeah, so let me first tell you a little bit more about the technical stuff, and then I'm going to tell you more about a story.
Yeah, do it.
What SpireKey is, right? I like to tell stories. So on a technical basis, SpireKey, what we did with SpireKey is we looked into web technologies, right? How can we make blockchain technology accessible for my son, my children, my grandmother, my grandfather? Because nowadays, if you want to interact with blockchain technology, it's extremely complex. You need to know what a mnemonic key is, etc. So we look into WebAuthn, which is normally used for logging in. And we actually integrated the signing curve of WebAuthn into our blockchain. So with that, we can leverage passkey. And passkey is a technology on your phone where you can just sign things with your Face ID, fingerprint, whatsoever. With that, we actually unlocked the possibility to sign transactions on our blockchain with a private key that's stored in the secure enclave of your phone. So basically, you turn your phone into a hardware ledger, basically, which makes it, for instance, different than, for instance, if you open up, if you leverage WebAuthn to sign via the software you create, via the private key you created within software, because the private key will never leave the secure enclave of your phone. So it's what we did with this is we made it more secure. We created a better user experience, because normally you have to give up one of the two. If you create a better user experience, you give up on security, and vice versa. So this was actually 2 birds, 1 stone. And that's why we're so excited about this technology as well. So this will unlock a whole lot of possibilities. For instance, okay, let me tell a story. So we have a small business owner called Alex, right? Who recently heard about blockchain's potential to streamline his supply chain systems. Excited, but he was also wary, mainly because Alex downloads a wallet, and normally when you interact with a wallet, it bombards you with mnemonic phrases, key pairs, jargon, which a lot of people are like, "Oh, is this something I need to interact with?" Right? And with SpireKey, it's just really easy. It's just, oh, fingerprint, I know this. This is a Web 2 experience, right? So first impressions matter a lot. And currently we're integrating SpireKey within our own wallet, where we actually go into, which is actually driven by a lot of UX um, patterns like aesthetic usability effect, to have an uncluttered design, modern visuals, just looks good, right? Makes Alex feels like if he's going to use it, like this is something I can handle. Reduce the intimidation factor. Um, and with this, no need for passphrases, passwords, seed phrases whatsoever. You just do fingerprint. It feels natural for him to sign into, like signing into a mobile bank, right? It's actually, like I said, security without sacrifice. And behind the scenes, I mean, Alex's keys are stored on the secure enclave of his phone. Even if his phone gets compromised, the private keys are not. No more sleepless nights worrying about losing your funds. And then if Alex wants to interact with blockchain technology, for instance, want to store or send over, go from one state to another, he can just do it with one single click. It can even be done automatically if you program it into a certain way, right? And I think by leveraging these Web 2 conventions, it's not feeling like learning a new thing. It's more like continuing on the conversation. And the law of similarity, it's not a UX pattern, was extremely important for us to drive this innovative product. Because I do believe blockchain technology, to actually get that mainstream adoption, we need to bring over familiar Web 2 conventions into the Web 3 human-centric design.
And that's where you
Yeah,
caught me.
yeah,
That's where you caught me right at the start of your story of, the fingerprint scanning. If you can change the fundamentals, at its technology core and just switch it to blockchain, but using a method in which, as consumers, we know, that's where I think you'll be able to make your mark. So whether it was purposeful or by accident, it's genius.
yeah. No, it was on purpose though. We did.
Good.
Yeah, it was on purpose though. And I mean, this is what I believe in, right? Blockchain technology will get mainstream adoption when users don't even know they're using blockchain technology. I mean, if you go to a Web 2 website nowadays, you don't know if the backend is built in Java, in .NET, in Node.js. Why should it be any different for blockchain technology?
Yeah. No, you're very
No.
right. If you had to hazard a guess, when do you think we will start adopting blockchain technology? It's hard to estimate like fully, but when do you think that year will be? When's that
Yeah,
pivotal moment going to be?
good question. I get this question a lot, by the way. Um, it's funny to see the adoption curve, like from the internet, and put it next to Web3. And like in the early days, people even thought you would get sick if you go on the internet. Don't go on the internet, you will get sick. That was, I think, a year ago. We were at the same moment. I see it being blockchain technology is being adopted way more. Having these conversations with institutions, etc., who are going or currently innovating with this technology. I do believe we need to have these Web 2 companies getting into this technology a bit more. So I think mainstream adoption, hopefully the consumer doesn't even notice that now they're data is stored on blockchain technology or whatsoever. But I do think we need to have like the larger companies to take the lead on this, because we can have all these great ideas, build all this great technology. If nobody's going to use it, it just stays great technology.
Any big names in the Web2 space that are making good strides in the Web3 space that you recognize?
At the moment, we're in, I can't say that names, but we are in conversation with some banks, etc., for especially real world assets. You see a lot of institutions focusing on this, like financial institutions. Our CBO also have written a great book, From Hoodies to Suits, to actually that actually covers this great technology part and how that will be transformed over into the institutional world. Really could recommend reading that book. So yeah, I believe, I can't tell those names yet.
Yeah, but some years and some big banks.
Yes, indeed, it's it is coming. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, proof of work is something that I know you're proud of. I know the business relies heavily on that blockchain method. Sorry, not blockchain, Bitcoin methodology.
Yeah.
Talk to us about A, what proof of work is, B, and how you use it to scale.
Yeah. So we don't actually use proof of work to scale. This is basically our architecture that creates that opportunity for us to scale proof of work. Proof of work is basically you have a puzzle, a cryptographic puzzle, and you have all kinds of miners around the world competing actually to solve that cryptographic puzzle. And the first one who solves that puzzle creates a proof out of it, and that proof is then communicated to all the other miners, and that proof is called proof of work. That the proof you have done the calculations to solve that puzzle, basically, and that's then being put onto the blockchain. So that's in layman terms, really short, what proof of work actually is. So you have all kinds of different ways in proof of work itself, same as you have different ways of proof of stake and all kinds of other things to actually solve this, consensus mechanisms to solve this.
Got you. I think it's pretty straightforward as to why people use it. The transparency is a big thing, especially in the blockchain space. Would you say there's any other reasons why people want to use the proof of work model?
I think for me, the decentralization part and security part is the main thing why people are choosing proof of work. I mean, Bitcoin has proven years and years already that it's safe, it's decentralized. So if people are looking into safety and decentralization, for me, that's the way to go. I think the public part is, in this particular case, even more important, especially if, for instance, if companies wanting to work together, right? I think I've had this example. I used this example a couple of times already. I think a year ago, I booked a plane ticket to the States. And booked it at a Dutch airline company, but the flight itself was executed by an American airline company. They are part of the same alliance. But the weird thing was, when I wanted to upgrade my seat, I couldn't do it in the app of the Dutch airline company, because the airline company the flight was executed at the other company, right? So I had to download a new app, because and then upgrade my seed. And this is actually because they are two separate systems. In a public blockchain, you own the ticket, so you can actually prove you own the ticket. And if you want to upgrade your tickets on if the smart contract allows you to upgrade your ticket, you can do it via application 1, application 2. You can even do it directly via the smart contract via an API call, because the code is the truth and the code is part of the blockchain. So if these companies want to work together, the public blockchain is the way to go.
That's a really good understanding of the concept, and I think it's a really good future use case as well, by the way.
Yeah. So if the companies are listening,
yeah, exactly. Get you on board.
Yeah. But I have tons of these applications where blockchain technology can really solve a lot of problems. But like I said, the main thing is getting these companies over to actually start experimenting with it. And in the past, a lot of these companies were wary because, well, you had to be very tech savvy to interact with blockchain technology. And that's why we focus so much on SpireKey, to make it easier for the B to C use case.
Exactly. Talk to us about the next 12 months. I know you were quite excited around building world's first horizontal, scalable EMV blockchain. It's a bit of a mouthful. But what else is to come from Kadena over the next 12 months? That's early next year, but what else is on the roadmap?
Yeah, we're having this conversation at the right time because we had our roadmap reveal yesterday. Like EVM is our one of our main things, right? We want to get these EVM nodes into our into chain web. So that's the first thing. We are going to work a lot with RWA stuff, real world assets. There's a there's a national soccer team where we're going to work together with. We're going to partner up with. I can't tell the name of that country yet, but that's one is really excited where we're going to help them build some really cool stuff. And we're talking about ticketing, NFTs, a whole lot of stuff. So that's really exciting. Onera, which is also RWA, where we're gonna work with some currently looking to partner up with some banks. We're gonna release Chainweaver, our new wallet with SpireKey integration, and it has a whole lot of other features as well. So that's the one we're focusing on, and building out our developer experience and tooling as well.
It's a big year then.
It's a big year. It's always a big year.
Yeah, always a big year.
Yeah, and especially because we like bear markets are made for building, right? So we build a lot of stuff in the bear market, and now the bull market is coming along, and we need to keep that momentum. So we need to keep on releasing, keep on going to these events, keep on talking about what people can build on our chain, use cases, and just start working together with them.
Yeah, you really can't slow down, especially in these times. I do want to ask you in the next couple of moments if you think it's going to carry on being a bull market. We're December 2024. But I think the adoption, both from developer community, the adoption from national soccer teams, to actually want to use many different Web3 products, whether it's NFTs, ticketing, is a great signal for what's to come and leading from the front. So busy times. Going back to my original question, bull market, what do you think?
It's always difficult to predict predict how long something like this will take. My belief is as long as we keep building, keep improving, we will definitely see a lot of new institutional money coming in, and that hopefully would extend this bull market a bit longer. Looking at the history, most of the time, bull market is around a year or so. But yeah, it's very unpredictable. It stays crypto, of course. So I actually have no ideas. I just hope we can keep this momentum, building a lot of cool stuff, and finally get some mainstream adoption with some partners.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, good luck for the next 12 months. I want to put on people's radar what kind of people you might be looking for. So a really good opportunity to tell our listeners where Kadena might be growing.
Yeah, so we are growing at the moment on the BD side, the business development side. I think we're looking for a DeFi lead at the moment. I think that's the one of our makers. We have if people are looking for jobs, we have a job section on our website where people can find if they're interested in working for Kadena, they can apply there.
Love it. I know there's lots of engineering stuff going on. If you're an engineer, if you've got friends in sales who are interested in DeFi, I think what we've listened to from Kadena today they're innovative. They're thinking about the future and how they actually enable adoption, and they're working with forward-thinking organizations as well to help them adopt it. So doing some really cool stuff and ahead of their times. Randy, I want to say massive thanks for coming to join us. Talk to us a little bit about your role, why you're different at Kadena, and some of the great stuff that you're building.
Yes, thank you very much as well for having me.
For people listening, like Randy said, we've got the careers site below, but continue to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is the kind of stuff that keeps this ecosystem buzzing around, giving us an opportunity to go and speak to Randy, Kadena, and others. So a massive thank you, and thanks from Engineers. Bye for now. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. Massively appreciate you listening and checking in with us. If you want to find out more about us and what we're doing, please check us out on social media. What we're trying to do at Engineers is build a community to drive knowledge sharing and experiences. On Twitter, we can be found Engineers.io. It's no_. We've also got a website which is engineers.io. These links will all be posted in the description. Any feedback and comments are massively appreciated. We're always looking to improve on where we can. Thanks, guys.